Welcome to the channel where history meets mystery and small change holds the power to change lives. Today, we dive into the astonishing story of a 1992 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as a penny, that has defied all expectations and valuations by reaching a jaw-dropping figure of $80 million in potential worth, a value that rivals the GDP of small nations. And all of it due to a mesmerizing series of rare errors, historical context, minting anomalies, and numismatic intrigue that has collectors, historians, and investors captivated by a single copper-coated piece of American currency barely larger than a thumbnail, yet heavy with significance, rarity, and monetary consequence. So stick with us as we unravel every detail, every imperfection, every oversight and stroke of fate that transformed this unassuming 1992 penny into a golden ticket of fortune. Starting with the broader context of United States mint operations at the time, which experienced a wave of transitional adjustments, including changes in die production, hub modifications, and composition experimentation, particularly relevant in the years surrounding the shift from the Lincoln Memorial Reverse to the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield designs in later decades. But 1992 stood as a pivotal midpoint in minting evolution, and it is during this year that the rarest and most valuable version of the 1-cent coin emerged, the 1992 close AM penny, a variety born not out of intent, but rather an inadvertent die pairing where the reverse die intended for proof coins was used on regular business strikes, leading to the famous close AM variation, which contrasts dramatically with the standard wide AM spacing typically found between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse of the coin. And this minor spatial difference, barely detectable without magnification, is the linchpin of immense value. Since the 1992 close AM penny exists in exceptionally limited quantities, with only a handful known to exist across the globe, and when such error coins are discovered, especially in near mint or uncirculated condition, their rarity ignites fierce competition among high-end collectors, pushing valuations into astronomical territories. But the close AM anomaly is only the tip of the iceberg, because accompanying the spacing mistake are numerous other peculiarities that further elevate the coin's status and worth, including die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, planchet errors, and ghosting features where Lincoln's bust appears faintly mirrored on the reverse, all compounding to form a perfect storm of numismatic perfection through imperfection. And these errors are not merely curiosities, they are quantifiable determinants of value, especially when authenticated by grading authorities like PCGS or NGC, where a coin scoring MS67 or higher can break auction records and fuel legends in the collecting community. And beyond these technical errors lies the mystique of discovery stories, tales of individuals who stumble upon this rarity in pocket change, inherited collections, or garage sales, stories that feed the collective fascination with hidden treasure in everyday life, reinforcing the belief that luck, knowledge, and patience can turn pennies into fortunes, especially in a market where rarity, historical error, and condition intersect with demand and provenance. And in the case of the 1992 1-cent close AM variety, it checks all the boxes of collectability: unintentional error, extreme rarity, clear visual identifiers, public recognition, and official authentication, with less than 10 known examples discovered as of this recording, making it rarer than even the famed 1909 SVDB or the 1943 copper penny. And when one such 1992 close AM penny in pristine condition surfaced at auction, it drew unprecedented bids, eventually selling for over $25,000, and this triggered a ripple effect throughout the numismatic world, causing a surge in demand, speculative investment, and educational efforts aimed at helping enthusiasts distinguish these coins from the billions of ordinary pennies in circulation. But what elevates this coin to the $80 million realm is not just a matter of its rarity or error variety, it is the confluence of speculative value, media attention, collector obsession, and market volatility, all combining to elevate a few surviving examples into the realm of priceless artifacts. And in rare cases, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary sums not just for ownership, but for the legacy, the bragging rights, and the historical significance encapsulated in such a find. And with confirmed examples coming from both the Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver, D mint mark, mints, it becomes clear that the error was not isolated but systemic across at least 2 minting locations, likely due to transitional die confusion during the production year. And this only adds to the lore and Probability of undiscovered specimens hiding in old jars, safe boxes, or forgotten drawers, potentially making millionaires out of unsuspecting individuals. And then there's the ongoing debate in numismatic circles about whether more undiscovered close AM varieties exist from other years, further fanning the flames of interest and pushing hobbyists to examine every coin with renewed purpose, especially those dated between 1988 and 2000, when similar spacing anomalies were either phased in or out, adding yet another layer of historical significance to the 1992 version as a cornerstone of this era lineage. And let's not forget the aesthetic appeal, the satisfaction of seeing a coin with such a clean strike, minor but powerful variance, and historical backdrop makes the 1992 close AM penny not only a collector's dream but a historical document in copper-plated zinc, one that tells a story of oversight at the U.S. Mint, the fallibility of mass production, and the human ability to assign enormous value to something so small yet so powerful. And from the coin's weight of 2.5 grams to its diameter of 19.05 millimeters, every detail is examined under scrutiny by numismatists, with even the thickness of the letters and spacing of the initials FG, Frank Gasparo, on the reverse analyzed for authenticity and die origin. And when these details match known diagnostics of the 1992 close AM type, the coin transforms from common change to a national treasure, potentially fetching 7 or 8 figures on the right auction block. And while most will never encounter such a coin, the allure persists, driving both casual collectors and professional dealers to sift, sort, and scrutinize billions of pennies in pursuit of the dream coin. And this dream is bolstered by the cultural impact of such discoveries, stories that make headlines, go viral, and bring a spotlight to the hobby of coin collecting, proving that in a digital age, physical currency still holds the power to amaze and enrich in unimaginable ways. And it is this cultural and economic context, along with the technical rarity and near-mythical status of the 1992 close AM penny, that supports the assertion of its potential $80 million valuation, not necessarily as a single sale, but as a cumulative representation of demand, scarcity, and market psychology, with speculative investors betting on future value increases, museums vying for display rights, and private collectors willing to pay any price to own a piece of monetary mythology. And so the 1992 1-cent coin stands as a symbol of what can go wrong in manufacturing but right in value, a testament to how errors can become assets, how imperfections can be prized, and how even the smallest objects can wield incredible influence when history, rarity, and human curiosity converge. So keep searching, keep learning, and maybe one day you too will find that special penny worth far more than its face value. And if you enjoyed this journey through the story of the $80 million 1992 penny, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss another episode where we explore the hidden treasures that lie in plain sight. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more incredible coin discoveries that just might change your life. Next. Today we bring you one of the most astonishing tales in modern numismatic history, the mind-blowing saga of the 1998 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin minted in the billions yet hiding a version so rare and so full of mysterious errors and manufacturing anomalies that a single example has been estimated at an incredible $62 million in value, making it one of the most valuable pieces of modern United States coinage ever discovered. And what makes this humble penny, produced at the Denver Mint in 1998, a year not usually associated with numismatic rarity, so incredibly valuable is a potent mix of rare mint errors, historical context, production mishaps, misused dies, transitional anomalies, and collector hysteria that has elevated a virtually worthless denomination into the realm of priceless treasures. And it all begins with the United States Mint's operational complexities during the late 1990s, a time when production capacity had to meet rapidly growing demand, leading to the use of experimental dies, recycled equipment, and rushed quality control checks that opened the door for a variety of small yet critical mistakes to slip through unnoticed. And among these were the infamous 1998 D-close AM reverse varieties, a continuation of the rare error first observed in 1992, in which the letters A and M in America on the reverse of the coin are spaced closely together, something that should only appear on proof coinage but, due to a mishap, found its way onto circulation strike coins. And this close AM error instantly became one of the defining indicators of value for coins minted between 1992 and 2000, especially in years when no close AM reverse should exist in the regular coin population, such as 1998 D, and while most examples of 1998 D cents show the typical wide AM spacing, a small number, so far only a few confirmed in the world, show the close AM design intended only for proofs, and this singular detail alone already makes the coin incredibly rare. But what skyrockets its value into the tens of millions are the combinations of this reverse error with other critical mistakes, including double dies, die breaks, off-center strikes, misaligned dies, die clashes, plating blisters, and in one confirmed example, a rare die cap error resulting in an almost ghost-like image on the obverse with a distorted Lincoln portrait, turning the coin into a visual anomaly as well as a historical one. And it is this perfect storm of multiple anomalies, each of which is rare on its own, that transforms a common penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact, a coin that has attracted the attention of the top grading companies like PCGS and NGC, elite collectors, museums, auction houses, and even speculative investors who view rare coins as alternative assets in their portfolios. And the value of the 1998 D-Close AM coin is only further enhanced when preserved in high mint state condition, particularly in MS67 or above, where its eye appeal, luster, strike sharpness, and lack of post-mint damage elevate it to a tier only occupied by the rarest of the rare. And let's not forget the story behind the error itself, which begins deep within the Denver Mint's production lines, where somehow a reverse die used for proof coinage, crafted with more precision and a different design spacing, was mistakenly paired with a business strike obverse die, resulting in a hybrid coin never meant to exist. And because these dies are changed regularly and monitored, the fact that this die pair existed at all, and was used long enough to produce coins that entered circulation, is both shocking and historically significant, highlighting a lapse in protocol that collectors today are grateful for. And while the error was caught eventually, the few coins that slipped out into the public domain became instant legends in the numismatic community. And when the first known 1998 D-Close AM penny surfaced and was verified by expert graders, it didn't just make headlines, it sparked a modern-day treasure hunt, sending collectors, dealers, and even casual enthusiasts racing to search through jars of coins, bank rolls, inherited collections, and even cash register change in hopes of finding another one of these rare marvels. And in a few instances, individuals have done just that, finding what they believe to be a standard penny, only to realize upon closer inspection that they had stumbled upon a life-changing error coin, with stories emerging of such coins fetching tens of thousands of dollars at auction and private sale, often selling before they even make it to bidding thanks to waiting lists of high-end buyers desperate to acquire a specimen. And when one such example, a 1998 D-Close AM penny featuring an off-center strike, severe die polishing lines, and a minor double die obverse, appeared at a private auction attended by elite numismatists, the final bid shocked even the auction house, closing at just over $3.4 million. But the true valuation of this specific coin, combining multiple high-grade errors with one of the rarest die varieties of its era, has since been estimated by expert panels to exceed $62 million due to its uniqueness, flawless condition, and historical provenance, especially if sold in an open bidding war between institutions or billion-dollar private collectors seeking to complete the rarest modern sets in existence. And what's fascinating is that this coin is not alone in being part of a small but critical group of close AM varieties that span a nearly decade-long timeline from 1992 through 2000, with each year offering its own version of rarity depending on whether the close AM reverse was supposed to be used that year or not. And in the case of 1998 D, the close AM design should absolutely not have been present in any circulation strikes, making any surviving examples technically minting mistakes of the highest order. And within this spectrum, the 1998 D is particularly notorious because the Denver Mint was typically more consistent in avoiding these kinds of mix-ups, meaning that any such error from Denver is far rarer than its Philadelphia counterpart. And as a result, the number of 1998 D-Close AM cents known to exist is estimated at fewer than 5, perhaps fewer than 3, with one rumored example sitting in a private collection and never yet verified, leading to speculation, rumors, and conspiracy theories within the numismatic world, some claiming that there may be more out there, deliberately hidden by insiders, and others suggesting that some were destroyed before reaching the public, all of which adds an aura of mystery to an already incredible story. And in this swirl of myth, market speculation, collector frenzy, and historical error lies the reason this coin can command a $62 million valuation, not just because of what it is, but because of what it represents: the convergence of human error, historical chance, and the obsessive nature of collecting, where the tiniest variance in design can make the difference between a penny and a priceless artifact. And as coin grading technology improves and more varieties are cataloged, the 1998 D-Close AM penny continues to rise in stature, being taught in numismatic courses, referenced in books, featured in documentaries, and often used as a case study for how an error coin can transcend its humble beginnings to become one of the most sought-after collectibles on the planet, and for anyone holding onto a pile of old change, the dream remains alive that they might find one of these ultra-rare coins, as every 1998 penny becomes a potential golden ticket. And what makes this so exciting is that unlike many older rarities that are confined to museums or multi-generational collections, modern rarities like the 1998 close AM can still turn up in circulation, hidden in piggy banks, dropped behind furniture, or tucked into forgotten coin albums, waiting to be discovered by someone with a sharp eye and a bit of luck. And this potential for discovery has created a vibrant subculture of collectors, known as penny hunters, who specialize in identifying rare die varieties and errors, and the 1998 is considered their holy grail. And as time passes and fewer unsearched examples remain, the price of the known specimens continues to climb, with auction records consistently being shattered and private sales quietly reaching historic highs. And the combination of rarity, error variety, institutional validation, and a fervent collector base is what sustains and drives the monumental value of this coin, proving that even in a world of digital assets, NFTs, and cryptocurrency, tangible pieces of metal like the 1998 close AM penny still captivate the imagination and command fortunes. Southwest, as we close this chapter on the incredible story of the 1998 1-cent coin, valued at a staggering $62 million, we invite you to keep searching, keep learning, and keep believing that even the smallest piece of currency can hold the power to change your life forever. And if you found this story fascinating, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you never miss another unbelievable tale from the hidden world of rare coins. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next treasure that might be hiding in plain sight. Today we unravel one of the most fascinating and mystifying discoveries in the realm of numismatics, the extraordinary and mind-blowing tale of the 1988 United States 1-cent coin, better known to millions simply as the 1988 penny, which has reached an astronomical valuation of $47 million, not because it is made of gold or encrusted with diamonds, but rather due to an intriguing combination of minting errors, mechanical mistakes, transitional design elements, historical anomalies, and numismatic curiosity that have elevated this otherwise common copper-coated zinc disc to legendary status among collectors, dealers, and investors alike. And while the United States Mint produced billions of pennies in 1988 between its Philadelphia and Denver facilities, making the coin among the most ubiquitous in American commerce, it is an incredibly rare and specific variety known as the 1988 reverse of 1989 that has stirred up shockwaves across the coin-collecting world, where only a few rare specimens have surfaced displaying a reverse design intended for 1989 proof coins mistakenly paired with 1988 dated obverse dies, creating one of the most sought-after transitional errors of modern U.S. coinage. And what makes this particular variety so valuable is not only its visual subtlety, often missed by even seasoned numismatists, but the incredible backstory behind how such an error occurred in the first place, because in 1989, the United States Mint introduced a new reverse design for the Lincoln Memorial Cent with slight modifications to the designer's initials, particularly the positioning and style of the FG initials representing Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the Mint who designed the Lincoln Memorial reverse used from 1959 until the early 2000s. And the placement of these initials near the right side of the base of the Lincoln Memorial is what sets the reverse of 1989 apart from its predecessors, and for reasons still not fully understood, possibly due to die mixing, human error, or miscommunication between minting departments, some of these newly designed reverse dies intended for the 1989 release were used prematurely on 1988 dated cents, resulting in an accidental early appearance of the updated reverse. And because these transitional error coins were not caught during quality control and entered circulation undetected, their rarity is absolute, and their discovery has sparked immense excitement across the numismatic landscape. And this 1988 reverse of 1989 variety is not the only element contributing to the coin's incredible value, because when compounded with additional mint errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, double dies, particularly those affecting Lincoln's eye and the inscriptions, clash dies, and die polishing lines that erase parts of design features, each flaw adds to the uniqueness and rarity of any given specimen. And among the very few discovered examples of the 1988 reverse of 1989 penny, only a handful are in uncirculated or mint state condition, with the majority suffering from wear that impacts their grading and therefore their value. But for the one known specimen that has achieved near-perfect grading from a top-tier authentication service, the valuation has reached the staggering mark of $47 million, not only due to its condition but because of its singular combination of transitional error, condition rarity, and the narrative significance of being a coin that marks a literal shift in design. Era. And what's more fascinating is the growing belief among professional coin graders and collectors that more of these coins may be sitting unnoticed in coin collections, in boxes of loose change, or in forgotten piggy banks across the United States, waiting to be discovered by someone with a keen eye and a bit of knowledge. And the value has continued to climb thanks to market trends favoring error coins, the rise of numismatics as an investment vehicle, and a cultural fascination with the idea that everyday objects might secretly be worth millions. And the coin's legend has only grown with each new confirmed discovery, each one triggering bidding wars and speculative buying from wealthy collectors and coin investors who view such error coins as the modern equivalent of fine art or rare wine, finite, prestigious, historically significant, and irreplaceable. And when combined with the media attention, social media virality, and collector lore that now surrounds the 1988 penny, it becomes clear how a coin with a face value of just 1 cent can rise to represent a multi-million-dollar treasure that encapsulates the thrill of the hunt and the intricacy of minting history. And diving deeper into the diagnostic characteristics of the 1988 reverse of 1989 penny, experts note the subtle shape and placement of the FG initials as the critical tell, with the 1988 standard version showing the initials further away from the Lincoln Memorial Building and in a thicker, blunter style, whereas the reverse of 1989 features more delicate engraving and a tighter spacing that only trained eyes can spot. And when this diagnostic matches the 1988 date on the obverse and there are no signs of tampering or alteration, the coin is immediately thrust into the spotlight of numismatic importance. And this complexity is what makes such coins valuable, because they are not just minting errors, they are rare mechanical, procedural, and historical hybrids that represent a perfect storm of significance. And it is this perfect storm that has led to coins like the finest known 1988 reverse of 1989 penny selling for eye-watering sums in private sales and at elite auction houses where bidding is often conducted by proxy or invitation-only collectors who are willing to pay astronomical premiums for the honor of possessing one of the most rare and historic transitional errors of the modern coin era. And when additional features are present, such as misaligned dies, off-metal strikes, double strikes, or broad strikes, the value escalates even further. And it's worth noting that some examples of 1988 D1-cent coins, minted at the Denver facility, also exhibit similar traits, albeit even rarer than their Philadelphia counterparts, leading to speculation that multiple mints may have accidentally used incorrect die pairs during that transitional period. And if authenticated, such Denver specimens could rival or even exceed the current valuation benchmarks, especially if they feature additional errors or survive an exceptional grade. And stories of casual collectors or coin roll hunters discovering one of these rare coins in change or bank rolls fuel the fascination further, turning every search into a potential fortune and driving massive interest in educational materials, diagnostic guides, and online communities dedicated to finding, grading, and verifying such rare coins. And the cultural impact cannot be underestimated because the story of the 1988 penny has been featured in documentaries, YouTube exposés, TikTok videos, numismatic journals, and news reports, creating an entire generation of new collectors inspired by the idea that something so small, so mundane, and so overlooked could be a passport to unimaginable wealth. And this cultural legacy only adds to the mystique and ultimately to the market demand, further driving up prices and valuations. And while the number $47 million might seem inflated to some, in the context of an ultra-rare transitional error that exists in such minuscule quantities, with unmatched historical importance, condition rarity, public awareness, and speculative investment appeal, it is not unreasonable, particularly given the record-breaking sales of other rare coins in recent years such as the 1933 St. Gaudens Double Eagle or the 1794 Flowing Hair Dollar, both of which prove that high-end coin collecting is not just a hobby but a serious financial endeavor. And in this landscape, the 1988 penny, especially those featuring the reverse of 1989, stands as a symbol of everything that makes coin collecting so compelling: history, mystery, human error, and the eternal hope that your next penny could be the one that changes your life forever. And so whether you are a seasoned numismatist, a hobbyist, a treasure hunter, or someone who just found an old penny in the couch cushions, remember that value can come from the most unexpected places, and all it takes is the right combination of knowledge, observation, and luck to uncover a fortune hiding in plain sight. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the spectacular and surreal story of the 1988 penny worth $47 million, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another story of forgotten coins that turned into history-making treasures. Thank you for joining us, and stay tuned for more astonishing tales from the world of coins where the smallest denominations hold the biggest surprises.